welcome to Same But Different.
This is a very special episode, Derek.
Yes, we are coming to you live from Bintan.
Yes. So right now what we are doing is two recordings,
That's
one
right.
audio and one video, our first foray into...
Vodcast, if you will. Right?
Yes.
So
vodcast.
this is going to be exciting.
Yes, it is. Not just because we are trying something new, but also this is our big coming out party.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ching ching.
We are coming out to all of our listeners.
That's correct.
Although it's not that monumental if you think about it, because some of our listeners already know that we are gay.
You know who you are.
So it's not a big deal.
That's correct.
Yeah, but for those who don't know us, maybe we can take this opportunity, as I said earlier, a coming out party for two,
Yes, that's correct.
to let people know about us when it comes to us coming out. We definitely identify as gay,
Yes.
and
do.
with this conversation, we are not trying to be speaking about the entire spectrum of the rainbow.
That's
per
right.
se,
The
per se.
LGBTQIA plus. We are not covering the entire alphabet soup.
Yeah.
We're just focusing on the G for gay.
Yes, and that is us.
Being gay is part of our identity. I mean, we are brothers, we are sons to our parents, we are siblings to our sister, we are friends, we are colleagues, have different identities, and at the heart of it, it can contain some gay elements. So I think it's right for us to come out, so to speak, quote unquote, and let our listeners know, and our viewers know, that we identify as gay, and that's part of our identity.
Why don't you start? How did you come
Okay.
out to me? I came out to you first.
That's correct,
So
yes.
I should tell the story.
Yes, I think to make things more interesting, Philip, I'll tell my side of what I remember to be your
Okay.
coming out to me.
Okay.
And then you can fill in the blanks.
Okay, sure.
Sure. Okay, so this is going to be fun. Trust me. Okay. Right. Philip, so I can't remember exactly when,
Yes.
but I believe this would have been during my university days, which means it would have been about early 20, when I was early 22, 23, or even later. I'm not too sure. Why I'm putting a timestamp on this, dear listeners, is because it happened on a random evening, a random weekend evening. So I was supposed to go out with my friends, but they bailed on me. So I ran out of things to do. You know? So I thought, I know you were going out with your friends.
Okay.
And you were...
Friends.
Yes, friends. I quote.
Okay.
So I knew you were going out with your friends. So I
Okay.
thought, okay, I'm gonna just shamelessly join you guys, right?
Okay.
So that's how I imagine it to be.
Okay.
I remember it also being that we are going to Kuma's Boom Boom Room.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, and this is very vivid because it was a very interesting way of you coming out to me, Philip.
Yes.
So I was the odd one now. You already were with your friends,
Yes.
and I remember very distinctly 6 of you, including you. There were 6 people, and then of the 6 people, right, there were 4 males, 2 females, I think, right. So there were 2 males that were quite close to each other,
Okay.
and then and then I thought, okay, they look like they're a couple, so
Okay,
they're
okay.
gay. For people who don't understand, Kuma Boom 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 back in the day is when a lot of queer people feel safe and they will go there for a night of laughter. You know,
Typically, it is a stand-up comedy show,
correct.
as well as a couple of drag shows.
That's correct. Yes.
That was before drag really caught the imagination of the mainstream media.
That's correct.
Yes.
Right. So at this table of 6 people, 2 of them were male, so they looked like they're fairly intimate. So I thought they were a couple.
Okay.
Then I think 2 other females, same thing, were fairly intimate as well. So I thought that I assumed they were females. Then of course there was you and your friend, quote unquote.
Okay.
So I just blurted out to you, so everyone here is a couple.
Okay.
And then you said yes,
All right.
and then that's when I know that. Oh,
Alright. Yes. Most of it is correct, Derek. Except for the female part. I can't remember whether there are any females.
okay.
The intention was there. I just decided that I wanted to come out to you. It's time that I came out to you. And it was, in terms of age, 23, 24, I'm not very sure. Because I was with my then ex.
Right.
And I was also in my first job already. And that was before I went to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam when I was 27,
Okay.
I think.
So that means it will be about 25, 26 maybe.
Yeah. Because I do know that I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. More on that later.
Yes.
Okay. Ex-girlfriend. when I was still in the army, which is like 22, 23 years old. I went to army quite late after
Quite, yeah,
poly,
yeah.
right?
Right. So that means it sounds like it's 24, 25 then.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay.
So the age is blur.
Correct.
The venue is definitely correct.
Ding ding ding.
I thought it was an intentional way of bringing you to a gay environment
Okay.
and using that as a backdrop for me to come out to you.
Right. So, dear listeners, if you are listening closely so far, if your inference is the same as mine, so Philip, if at that night
Yeah.
you had no intention of coming up to me, you would have told me to fuck off, find your own entertainment, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't think that was the case.
Did I self-invite or did you ask me
I
to come
think
home?
I like to think that I asked you along
Huh. Okay.
because the intention to come out to you was there. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. It couldn't have been by accident.
Okay.
It was definitely intentional.
Okay. So of course the follow-up question, Philip, is why did you think at that point in time you wanted to come up to me? You didn't have to. We had girlfriends. We could have just kept it as it is.
Oh no. During that time I was already with my first boyfriend.
Yeah, but
The
the
context was that.
But I didn't know, I didn't know about your
Okay.
first boyfriend. So
Okay.
theoretically, you could have just continued keeping it wraps, and I wouldn't be none the wiser. No.
On hindsight, I think I was trying to come out to get you to come out as well.
Okay, that's interesting.
I coming out to me was in phases. The first time when I came out to myself was when I ended my relationship, or rather I was being dumped by my first girlfriend, not girlfriend, but
Yes.
girlfriend. So that was the time when I came out to myself. So following that, there were a few years of uncertainty in a sense that I didn't know how to behave after coming out to myself, because again there weren't any resources or even role models, right?
To think to what does gay look like, because
Yeah.
we don't know people who are explicitly gay as well.
In the media, gay wasn't looking very good.
I know,
so
right?
it was
It's
something
just-
that we do need to keep under wraps. But it's gotten to a point in time when and I was already with my boyfriend, and I thought that it was also a good time then to come out to you, because I couldn't bear the weight of just holding on the secret to myself.
Okay, let's divert a little bit, Philip. And like you said, you had a girlfriend, right? At that point in time when she dumped you, why did you not think at that point maybe you were bisexual? I'm asking this question also because I remember you actually have a book called Bisexuality right smack on the cover page, and that's when I realized, wait, I didn't buy this book, Philip. So why do we have a book called Bisexuality in our household?
Perhaps questioning myself that I could have been bisexual, having gotten a girlfriend and then later on coming out to myself. But the truth is I never finished reading the book.
So I guess that's a sign then, Philip.
Maybe, maybe not. It's something that I had done as a process
Yes.
to get to know myself.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps this conscious rejection of even the idea of being bisexual means that I don't want to work with the grey areas, that I would like to be,
Clearly gay.
yeah, wearing that label maybe a little bit more proudly.
I don't think I've ever came out to you per se.
Okay.
It's more the aftershock of what happened
Yes.
on your coming out. And same thing, dear listeners and viewers, I had a girlfriend. We were in a 1-year relationship during our university days, and after that we broke up. And the other thing we also want to emphasize here, dear listeners and viewers, is that we both had sexual relations with females.
Yes, me not with my first girlfriend, but with a subsequent female companion. Did I use the phrase correctly?
Female companion.
In Vietnam.
As long as you didn't pay for her, you're good.
Well, I'll talk about the story later.
Correct. Right. So at that point in time, after receiving and seeing the whole stage of processing your coming out to me, I also thought to myself, I may have homosexual tendencies,
Okay.
but the only way to find out for sure,
Oh.
now that I'm no longer in a heterosexual relationship.
That was after you broke up with your girlfriend.
Yeah, correct, yeah. So why don't I try out being gay?
So it was something like trying on a new pair of jeans for
Correct.
you.
Let's see how does it fit. Does it make but look fat kind of thing.
My goodness. Okay, go on.
And interestingly, I then went on a 1-year spree, if you will, gay sexual relations. To really just push myself into that whole journey of, do I like gay sex? Am I gay?
Okay.
Then after a year, I mean, okay, maybe not exactly 12 calendar months, but after a year, yeah, maybe I am gay.
Whether we had this inkling that, because okay, for me, I've had attractions to men since young, but it wasn't a very sexual thing. It was something that was more chemistry linked. Yeah. So
Philip, that's vague. You want to explain a little bit more?
yeah. So, gosh, I'm being very vulnerable here. So
Safe space. I'm holding space for you to come out again in the internet.
in the earlier part of the internet, remember the dial-ups?
Yes, yes,
So we would have a common computer at home.
that's correct.
Yeah, and I would look at pictures of men online, half naked men online.
Yes.
Those were the days before porn was.
Easily accessible.
Those were the days, first of all, dial-ups, right? So
Yeah.
even if there was porn, it would take forever.
Correct. To even just get the 10-second clip, really.
Yeah, it will just be pictures of half naked men, well built half naked men. So by that, I would say, look, conversely, since I'm not looking at half naked women like most boys of our age back then did, I knew that I was different.
That's one way to look at it.
And at the same time, because I think I'm a little bit more well versed in IT than you are.
Yes.
Browsing histories was something that I knew of yours. So I knew that you were also browsing pictures of
okay.
half naked men.
But that's the thing, see, Philip. At that point in time, I could disguise that sexual arousal as, oh, I find these men inspiring. They have such great physics. It all starts out that way, right?
Yeah.
But
We all
yeah.
want to be hot just like these people.
Correct.
Not
Yes.
that we want to fuck them.
That's a later realization. But yeah, that's one way to look at it. So back in the day during JC, I think I haven't processed what gay means.
We were attracted to some of our ex-classmates.
Correct. We did find them good looking. And again, at that point when you're only 13, 14, 15, 16, right, you would have processed it as it's aspirational. They are good looking and they're popular with the girls.
Yes,
and they're that, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so it's easy to kind of rationalize that away and say that, oh, I want to be them. Any 13, 14, 15-year-old boys would be like. Only that I guess you Philip, kind of processed it a little bit earlier to come to the conclusion that yes, maybe that means I'm gay.
It's the whole realization of gay only came when, my goodness, this one is such a cliche, in the army.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's when you are in proximity with other men, very close proximity with other men.
Correct.
And that's when the sexual part came about. So the first part could be admiration and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And then in between, of course, to be strict acting,
Yes.
we got girlfriends.
Yeah.
And we also tried to be heterosexual. It didn't quite work out for us.
Yes. Eventually.
Somehow I don't want to make it sound as though we are taking sides because we failed in one of them.
I know, right? It's like, oh, I can't get a girlfriend. Let me just be gay now.
No, it doesn't work that way. Looking back when I was with my ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
it was also there was also a certain degree of respect and standoffish. Yes, there were physical contact, intimacy, not sex.
Not sex.
Physical, intimate contact, but it was purely physical. It was enjoyable, obviously, as any young man would go through, but there wasn't a lot of meaning to it, in the sense that I was just playing a role. I was just playing straight. What's more important is you have to come out to yourself first. There really is no point coming out to everybody if you don't own up to your own truth, isn't it?
That's true. That makes sense.